So this man posted in the marriage subreddit. He says, "Am I being a bad husband to my wife?" He says, "I've been pissing my wife off lately, especially tonight in an argument we had. She is also pissing me off. For context, we've been married now for a little over a year and just bought a house together with both of our savings. We both are reliant of each other's income to help keep the roof over our heads. If one of us loses our job, we're going to need to get a new one quick or start living off beans and rice. Currently, she's mad because she feels I'm not prioritizing my work and being reckless with maybe with it because of a deadline for a work project that's due for a work project due date that's coming up that could potentially piss my boss off if I don't meet it." So she's stressed out because he's stressing her out. Okay. She thinks I will be fired if I do not complete it on time, and if I don't, it's my own fault for spending time doing things I enjoy on my time off the clock. I know she has her own views, and they are grounded in logic and common sense. Work comes first, and play is after the job gets done. I am not entirely happy with my job and actively spend time building my resume to get a better job that will make me happier and hopefully lead to better opportunities. But to her, a job is a job, and no one is meant to be happy working. I followed my passion to be an artist, and I have been a working artist in the entertainment industry for 7 years now. But I had to pivot to a different job that still allows me to draw things I like, but it's not necessarily in the field I want to be in. My wife's passion was once to be a vet, but she gave it up, and now she's a high school science teacher. I know that sometimes she's just doing it to do it, and it's exhausting to her. I think the pressure of knowing that she can't quit is perhaps getting to her. She feels stuck because she probably sees the next 30 years of her life passing by in the stable role she's in. Perhaps there's something more I am missing, but I don't think she is sharing it with me. She keeps her emotions locked away, and they come out in a fury when she's pissed at me over something. I'm mad because I think I'm entitled to the fun I go out and seek for myself in order to keep myself sane. I prioritize my mental health just as much as I do my work. And as an extrovert, I feel I need the time I spend outside the house to keep myself from getting depressed. I work remotely. I wish that my wife would communicate her needs more instead of suppressing them so I can know what is hurting her and then try to avoid it. She's telling you to get your work done. That's what she wants. That's what she's communicating. That's what I have felt as he's typed this. We haven't done anything fun together on the weekend in a really long time because of how busy we are. I feel that neither of us really have the energy to put towards making plans to do something fun together at the moment. And honestly, we work so hard to keep the roof over our heads, it almost feels like a chore to do something if it's something we have done together already many times. And it's just making plans in general feels like a pain to coordinate because we share ownership of two dogs with her mom and sister who are a handful. I think she's mad. I think she's mad. I think she's mad at me because I still have the energy to do weekly activities with friends, and she doesn't seem to have the desire to do activities, but gets mad at me for doing them without her. She is an introvert and not the biggest fan of exercise. I have Muay Thai and surfing, but I could be spending that time with her either sleeping in or watching something in bed. However, Muay Thai is on a weeknight and it's at 8 p.m., a time she's usually already in bed. I surf at 6 a.m. on a Saturday and I'm usually home before noon. So who am I hurting by using that time for something that exercises both my body and brain? Is she right to be mad at me? Am I not seeing something here? I hate that she makes me feel bad for having fun at 8 p.m. on a weeknight when the outside of the house activity is something I desperately need to keep myself from losing it. I feel like she could care less about my feelings and thinks I don't care about hers, but I do. When she does something with her coworkers, I don't complain. I know we are different people and she has less motivation and energy to make time for herself where I do. I wish she would make time for herself, but she is dedicated to her job first and her mental health second. She was furious tonight when I asked her if she would like to try to plan a trip over Thanksgiving break together, thinking I was putting it on her to make the plans when I only pointed out we haven't done anything together in a while and it would be nice to do something. I believe she was mad because she felt I was to blame for her lack of fun and that it's all my fault for not wanting to spend more time with her, where perhaps if we did, we would already have made the plans. But to be completely honest, I think she doesn't want to do anything because she gets home from teaching and crashes most days and only has energy for a little show. And I'm happy to have that time with her. And although I wish we could be doing more, I know how tired she is, so I don't hold it against her. I am more of an active person than she is. I'm okay with this, and I get my itch scratched through my other activities. If I didn't do the things I do to keep myself happy, I know I would resent her for making me cut them out of my life for her. So it feels like we're at an impasse. She thinks I'm selfish, and I think she is being unreasonable. I'm scared that this could very well be a problem for us. I think I'm already giving up a lot for her. If I gave up my social life entirely for her, I think I would lose my soul, but I can't take the constant guilt trips she keeps putting me through. As for the work thing, I will meet my deadline, even if I have to stay up all night and work through the weekend. Am I being an ass? Please let me know. I want to be the best husband I can be for my wife. I love her, and despite this issue we've been having, I want us to be a team. Thank you for reading all this. I know I wrote a lot, but I feel I needed to get it out both for context and myself. He told us what the problem was at the beginning, and now he reiterated it at the end. He has a deadline and he hasn't finished whatever this project is. And maybe she would be stressing less if he would just do the work, because he's sitting up here doing his activities. He's not going to let his activities go because he needs these activities because he's not working the job that he wants to. And so instead of just doing the work, he says, I want to make this work. I want us to be a team, but I still got to go surf. Like, he's not putting the important things first and is stressing his wife out. His wife is a teacher. The teaching profession is stressful. She's going to work because she wants to keep shelter. She wants to make sure they can eat. She's being the responsible one. And she's the only one that's, thinking about this stuff first. She's having to carry too much weight because he has to put Muay Thai and surfing first. This sounds like she married a teenager in an adult body. And I would be, yes, this woman is getting resentful that she has connected her finances and survival to somebody like this. As I read this, I was irritated for his wife. Simply Me, Rin says, she sounds kind of resentful. A long conversation should clear things up. Maybe instead of a trip, you could do a staycation, focus on rest and pampering, and have a conversation that weekend when things are on a better footing. She could just feel like she isn't a priority. That's not the issue. She's told him what the problem was. She's told him. He's the one that is not listening. He has a deadline to do. Finish the deadline. Like, what is the problem? He says, I get mad when I try to state my side of the story and she doesn't seem to budge. Even when I'm calm and try as polite as possible, she still doesn't budge. I'm a little fed up with it, to be honest. I don't know what to do. Simple Paper says this reads like two people trying really hard but talking past each other. She wants rest, you want connection. Therapy would help bridge that gap. She wants rest, but she also wants to make sure that they work and take care of the bills. Yes, they're talking past each other. Sleepy Popcorn says it really does sound like she needs rest. Teaching is known to be an incredibly stressful job, and if it's not her passion, it must be draining. That said, it does seem reasonable for you two to do hobby sessions per week. Can you show your wife connection and support in another way rather than constant physical presence? Does she want to change jobs? Could you start putting a little money aside in a job change support fund so that she's not looking at 30 years in the same profession? Or could you plan the whole trip you've suggested but not make it too active or adventurous and give her a real break and some rest? Bonus points if you finish this project she's worrying about before the trip. It doesn't sound like you're being a bad husband at all, but it does sound like your wife is very stressed and she's asking you to support slash comfort her. No, it sounds like she's asking him to be an adult and handle his responsibilities first. Why are people coddling this man? This is getting on my damn nerves. How do I do this daily? Says, seems like she's stressed and feels like she's taking on the brunt of the worry about money and keeping the roof over both your heads because you seem chill. If you explain to her that you're also worried and you are actively doing things to make things better in the long run, maybe she'll chill a bit. She is worried that you'll get fired if you don't deliver your work, which is a valid concern. Show her that you are taking work seriously, even though you don't particularly enjoy your work currently. Your work affects her too, just like hers affects yours. Imagine if the situation was reversed and you see her slacking in her job and you genuinely think she'll get fired if she kept it up. You'll probably also be quite stressed out if on both of your behalf. You're obviously entitled to have fun, but when someone is in survival mode, they don't usually prioritize fun because food in your belly and roof over your head is more important. It's also hard to have fun when you're worried about getting fired and being homeless. So elevate her fears about you getting fired, and she'll probably be calmer and more accepting of your hobbies and interests. Okay, here's the OP says, I think I never really looked at it as I am in a very unstable career field, especially with the rise of AI, but I never once felt stressed about her losing her job. I really can't thank you enough. I feel like a stupid jerk for not seeing this sooner. Ugh, this is gross to me that it took this person saying something that's very, very basic, like she's stressed because she has to put a roof over their heads. I am very irritated with this man. All right, so how do I do this? Daily says, I'm glad I could help with a different perspective. I hope things get easier for the both of you. He says, thank you for that perspective. I think I would certainly be stressed if I was concerned about her losing her job. She did say tonight she would be extremely mad at me for all the leisure activities I've had if I did them and still didn't meet my deadlines. Just do the work. She's not mad about all of this other stuff. She's mad because she's the one that's having to think about paying bills. And he's like, oh my gosh, class is at 8 p.m. and I still have to go no matter what. I, yeah, I would be very, very irritated. But this is the reason why, some of these dudes get with these women. They can just do what they want. The women are their stabilizing force, and these men are the ones that are destabilizing the women. She could go out and have a smaller home and probably would have been less stressed. But y'all go ahead and chime in and let me know what you think about this one.